on Bitcoin, if I'm sending you a transaction, a few steps that happen. Number one, I create the transaction and I construct it on my software, whether that be Sparrow, a mobile wallet, whatever it might be. Then I have to sign that transaction, and on a mobile wallet, your keys live on the device that you're using. So you can immediately sign the transaction. But what happens is that that signed transaction that you have authorized for it to move from this address to this address then needs to be communicated to the Bitcoin blockchain. You have to send it so that it can be validated, confirmed, and processed using the mining aspect. So this is where we get into nodes and miners. So after I've constructed this transaction, what happens is that I send it to a node. That node will verify if it's a valid transaction, which means, does this address actually have the amount of Bitcoin that they want to send to the other party? And has this address received a valid signature? And if we remember, signatures are just signing with your keys, whether that be a hardware wallet or a mobile wallet. So once that node says, okay, everything is good, this address has the signature and the amount of Bitcoin in that address, and they can send that transaction. There's nothing wrong with the transaction. Now we send it to the mempool. And now I can visualize this, or I can demonstrate this using the mempool. Once I've created my transaction, what I do is I give it to a node, and the node puts it here in this waiting queue or line for transactions to be confirmed. And you can see here, every single one of these little squares is a transaction waiting to be confirmed. This is the next block. So I can see the block that contains about 4,600 transactions that are all waiting to be confirmed. And how do they get confirmed? This is where the miners come in. So the miners are expending energy, and they're just computers, to successfully find the right piece to the puzzle, we'll say, to simplify things, in order to confirm this block to then move forward and have the transaction be finalized. So once it moves into this side and it's confirmed by the miners, someone wins a reward, and it's extremely hard to reverse this transaction, my node, or whatever node I'm using, will give me back the updated information and show it in my wallet software. So they will say, hey, your transaction has been confirmed, and it has one confirmation. Each block is one confirmation. So as we see this move forward and forward and forward, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on confirmations, which makes it harder and harder for people to reverse the transaction. Because if your transaction is over here, then if someone with malicious intent wanted to reverse your transaction, they would not only have to reverse this block, they would have to reverse this one and this one and this one and this one, like all of these blocks, in order for them to create a new history of transactions, to, put whatever transaction they want in there. It's pretty impossible. In Bitcoin on the base chain, which we're looking at right now, and on the Lightning Network, the reason I compared Lightning to banks, actually, let's compare everything to banks. So just like you can buy on a custodial exchange and you can leave your Bitcoin there, that exchange can go bankrupt. So what happens is you become your own bank by taking self-custody on the base chain. Now, on the Lightning Network, it works the exact same way. If you run your own node on the Lightning Network, you can deposit funds to your own Lightning node to have transactions move between other nodes, but you are your own bank. So the only way that you can lose your money is if your node, goes down or something, but it's pretty impossible for your Lightning node to be hacked into. But again, Lightning nodes are somewhat harder to manage, and this is why people go the custodial route. They'll trust someone else to manage all of these things because it's quite cumbersome, or it takes a lot of time and energy to actually spend setting up a Lightning node and managing channels, or managing how much each person can send between one another. But yeah, Lightning nodes they work differently than Bitcoin on-chain nodes, but we just call them nodes because it helps you become your own bank in both networks.